Alrighty, we are back on the Mana Symbol channel playing a little bit of Etron. This is the newest Neutron list from the Etron Master TunnelingCat, Kaya. One of the most prolific Magic the Gathering grinders over the last couple of years for the modern format. We've got Dismembers, we've got Tron lands, we've got one Cavern of Souls, two Blast Zones. There is a Scavenger Grounds in here. So we've got an interesting suite of lands we can tutor up with Expedition Map. One of the newest additions to this deck is two copies of Urza's Saga. This synergizes reasonably well with your artifact count. It's actually higher than some of the decks that have been floating around that played Saga before. Lower than most of the ones we see in Modern. This is actually kind of closer to like a Legacy. Well, not even most of the Legacy. Some of the Legacy decks that are playing Saga are even lower than this. Anyway, it's an interesting sort of middle ground for Urza's Saga to sit in. There are only two copies because this deck is a little bit vulnerable to things like Blood Moon anyway. But also you're really chalked up on all sorts of value in your mana base. So you can't swing everything. We have two copies of Wastes, which is enough that you can be lucky and sometimes draw one when you get unexpectedly mooned, but hopefully you can tutor for one when you get mapped. And you also have a reasonable number of basic lands if you're getting Path to Exiled or some other nonsense. We're playing two Warping Wail, two Dismembers. This has been a pretty common suite of instant speed removal for your main deck since the rise of Blue-Red Prowess, against which, of course, you have the best tool in the deck against these decks is Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void is very well positioned right now, as long as you have a reasonable follow-up plan, and Etron has been one of the best follow-up plans to Chalice of the Void for a long, long time. So we also have some Walking Ballistas here. We've seen the return of Basilisk's Collar. For those who don't know it, it's a 1-mana equipment artifact. It says equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink, and it equips for 2 mana. So you can equip this to a Walking Ballista and remove your entire opponent's board, or your one of... there isn't a Endbringer in this deck anymore. We've got a one of Ugin instead. We've got a one of Alstus. So Emrakul exists here for a whole bunch of different matchups. Mostly things that are mid-range and controlling and that wants to push you into longer games. You'll be able to cast Emrakul and then use all of their resources to dismantle their own strategy. So, for example, in the last match we played of the last league, we played against Blue-Red Murktide. This is a deck where that's a deck where you could really do a lot of damage to them by playing Emrakul in the mid to late game. If they have 3 or 4 or 5 cards in hand, they're sitting on their Murktide region or whatever, you might be able to, Unholy Heat and bolt their own creature, blow a counterspell on something that doesn't matter. And you're also playing a 13/13 flying trample protection from instants that they need to deal with eventually. So Emrakul provides a temporary Mindslaver effect. You gain control of your opponent's next turn, and then they take an extra turn after that. So they do get a regular turn after your mind control turn of them, but the fact that you can cast this for as little as 6 or 7 mana, a lot of the time you have soul lands like Eldrazi Temple, which add to it. You can make it uncounterable with Cavern of Souls, and you have Tron lands to accelerate it out, and you have a variety of card types in your graveyard to make it to reduce the cost properly. This is just a really good end game, and I know TunnelingCat has been high on this card for a long time. Anytime the metagame has a proliferation of counter spells and mid-range and control decks that just like set up a big sort of fortress where it's surprisingly easy to dismantle it if you're the one who gets to make all their decisions for a turn. And then we've got the usual suite of Thought-Knot Seer, Matter Reshaper, and Smasher in the main deck. Not anything super fancy in the sideboard, just mostly things that we're going to tutor for. There is a Kozilek Butcher of Truth, so this is probably the anti-mill tech that we might need. Mill is a very respectable deck right now, very, very reasonably powerful, and if you don't have a plan for them, then you may die on anything that could possibly consider itself a mid-range deck. Kozilek's also much more castable than 15-mana Emrakul. Though we could not easily, but we could definitely cast 15 mana Emrakul, but Kozilek is just a lot more castable if it ends up in your hand. So, let's hop into a league with this one. Is there not a Sundering Titan in my sideboard, Kaya? I can switch it. I can hot swap it. Yeah, it looks like there isn't. Okay. So we're going to disrespect mill. Got it. All right. I just used the Stream Decker link you sent me. I think I still have it up on screen too if I cursor over to it. Yeah. All right. So we've got turn 2 Reshaper on the play. We've got a Mindstone follow-up. It's not crazy. If they play a turn 1 Ragavan, we could play turn 2 Mindstone into Dismember. Again, not usually good against most Ragavan decks, but a fine usage of our mana. Obviously, Emrakul in the opening is not great, but we've got a diversity of card types. If most of them end up in the graveyard over the first little while, then the Emrakul will end up being probably surprisingly easier to cast. On this opening hand, we can lead on Power Plant, I think. So between Power Plant and Temple, there's often a little tug. Oh, right, sorry. We're on the play. So if they have a Ragavan here, okay. Silver Bluff. Okay, so we have Karn in our opener, so this is insane. We're just going to play Mindstone here, and then just assume that we're going to play Karn and start stripping them. You guys missed out on the best thing that almost happened. Didn't you also then miss out on the best thing that almost happened? Or am I misunderstanding the word almost? Opponent, I have a question. Have you died? You may have died. Yeah, the opponent has died. Sure, you can play as many Ornithopters as you like. Okay, Frogmite is actually a small problem, but not a big one. Boop. All right, you've got 1 mana. Play your Urza Saga. Should have dismembered the frog EOT. You are 100% correct. I missed that I could even do that. I had an untapped Mindstone. I played it on turn 2. Yeah, you're 100% correct. I was like, well, the Frogmite came in, so that'll be harassing my Karn, but I have a follow-up. Oh, they can hit it for 3? That's fine. Get in there, choppers. Get to the choppers. Is opponent on 4 different Ornithopter arts? We'll have to wait. Have to wait and see. So my construct off Saga is currently a 2/2. I could fetch a 0, but I don't want to put Karn at more risk than I have to right now. I could boot up Mindstone as a blocker, like pretend that that's something I'm going to do, and then just dismember the Frogmite, let them hit Karn for 1. Play Reshaper, grab Needle for Inkmoth, dismember Frog. Oh, well, I mean, if you want to be smart about it and find the line that I... Sorry, I thought we didn't have Pithing Needle because we have Sorcerer's Spyglass, but it is a good meta for both, I suppose. Sure. Tunnelingcat out here playing 4D chess. what's up, Lukewarm? And that is Matt. So we could still dismember the Frogmite. I guess if they played an actual factual island here, I would get punished for letting them untap. Because they could have Metallic Rebuke. Oh, sorry, Glimmer Void does it too. But we could just block the Frogmite if we have to. Yes, tell your tale of tales, Halsey. Dismembered a token? What token? They can't make a token. Oh, they can make a token. They will make a token. Good call. Because it's going to be a 4/4. Is it worth making my own 3/3 here? Probably. I would assume so. And then we get a map. I guess I could get the map now and then... But that doesn't really help me much. Yeah, we're going to play a Chalice on 0 because they have a bunch of 0 drops. Yeah. I was just talking about how big mine was, not how... Oh, but I was forgetting about the land, or the thing I'm going to get. Yeah. No, I was assuming one was going to be a 4/4 with the Chalice, not with the map. We should kill this now. Ah, no. Karn. Did not activate my Karn. Which means I'm a turn behind on getting my next artifact. Uh-oh. Halsey has got themselves in some trouble here. Okay, that's a good draw, because that means I have Tron next turn. And we just play Smasher as a blocker here, I think. Okay. That's a big boy. Not big enough yet, though. We just double block it. So they don't have a good attack yet, but they will. Luckily, completing Tron is going to put us on very reasonable footing here. Oh. So luckily, completing Tron is going to put us on some very reasonable footing here. I'll put Mindstone as a second potential blocker. I can always block and then sack it if I have to, which obviously shrinks the construct before damage, but I think we are likely to win this long game. I have 3 card types. Emrakul currently costs 10. I have 8. Next turn I can map for another 3. Oh, good draw. So we're getting there. Oh, I should have... Wait. Yeah, I should have Karn plus their Silver Bluff Bridge. I am not paying enough attention to this game. There's story time. There's too much stuff going on. I have 120 Eldrazi mana. I want to say 9. But I can go up by another 2. Okay. So we'll just chump with Reshaper this turn, and then we'll Emrakul. Yeah. It's not 120, but it's pretty good. Tower number 2. I mean, obviously I could fetch something with Karn this turn, but I don't... Is there anything better than what I'm doing right now? Because, like, we're playing Emrakul. I got you, Halsey. Hold on. Ratchet Bomb hit all the zeros? Yo. It's not that many. I don't think that actually helps that much, right? Gives me another Karn. I don't understand. Oh! 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 Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely helps. Currently Emrakul costs 9. Right? 13 minus 4? Yeah. Oh, yes, there's an Ugin. Right. Thank you. Nanutsi with the... Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to have it down to 6? Yeah, I'm just all kinds of bad. Okay, there's nothing I should be activating before I do this. No. Bye, friends. Put Karn in my hand. Oh, I could kill the Thought Monitor with that, but Emrakul's going to eat the monitor. So currently costs 7, but I can make it 6. 1, 2... Oh, this only cost me 2. So let's play the new Karn. Anything more insane to do? Probably not. I'm assuming I could do something way worse, but at some point I'm going to have to actually start playing this game, like on my own a little bit. So let's grab their turn. Okay, they've just F6'd. Okay, they concede there, which is fair. Ballista is the only thing that matters, I would assume so. So I assume I want some contortions just to try to manage their early game stuff, and Warping Wail seems pretty bad here. Although I guess it counters Thoughtcast, but I don't think that that's good enough. On the draw, Chalice out, sure. So I guess I keep the whales. And then it's like Ratchet Bomb and Torpor Orb or something like that. Or maybe like Worm Coil and the last Ballista. Oh yeah, Dust is terrible. 2 Contortion, 1 Ratchet, 1 Spyglass, 1 Needle. Okay. I got you. You don't want to have to downtick a Karn. That makes sense. Not for something that's low impact, right? Like, the only thing you want to be downticking Karn for is, like, Ballista X, like, 5. Halsey. Just chomping for a fight. Yeah. Just keep plusing the Karn forever. That's fair. Sure. I get it. That's so much closer than I will ever be to wanting to fight anything that I perhaps over-exaggerated it. We got Mine, Power Plant, Saga. So this is Urzatron, right? And then we've got Cavern Wastes. But double Spatial Contortion feels like... Okay, so this is not going to be good enough in this matchup. Like this, as a mid-range card, we're going to get crushed trying to play this, especially with no supporting artifacts. I think this hand is nowhere near good enough for this matchup. We're just going to get run over if we keep this, most likely. This is better. Bottom Emrakul here. We're close to having everything else online. Yeah, and we just need to draw a couple lands. Yeah, that's a pretty good opener, huh? So I kind of want to aggressively Pithing Needle like Cranial Plating here, but I don't think I'm going to. There's just like a variety of things they could have. Although I guess by not doing it means that if they had a land and a plating, they could get it played and equipped to the Frogmite. But then I have a Spatial Contortion for after that, so... Oh. Ooh, look at Mr. Fancy Pants with their Pithing Needle, eh? Oh, I see that. On Blast Zone. Fair. How did you know? How did you know? So if I was worried about Metallic Rebuke, I would kill the Frogmite there. But I'm more worried about them playing and equipping a Cranial... no, this is -3/-3. Or +3/-3, so it kills it. It will kill the Frogmite through the Welding Jar. So this is fine. I thought I made a misplay, but I didn't. But if you think you made a misplay, but you didn't, did you actually make a misplay? These are the big questions. That is a reasonable draw. I think I will TKS here because they just drew a card, which they have been unable to cast, so it could be something really good. It was something really good, but not something I can TKS. Unfortunate. Probably going to have to Needle Saga or Spyglass it. I do not. I can Karn and destroy their Darksteel, and then they won't be able to generate the token unless they draw another mana source. Which is not unlikely, but it's not super likely. Aerosolize Super Bleach Permeate. Oh, no. Oh, they found a Metallic Rebuke. Why would they board that in? Oh, I guess for Karn. What a draw, though. They didn't have that last turn? Yikes. Oh, well. That's unfortunate. I do not need the feeling of aerosolized super bleach permeating a house described to me. I'm good. Wow, what are they ripping here? This is a beating. Okay, so now we definitely have to needle Saga. Yeah. Is there a particular reason why you want to do each of those on each of those? Needle is easier for me to destroy later, I guess. With Ratchet Bomb. If I put Ratchet Bomb on one, I'll kill their Blast Zone plus my own Needle, and their Saga will be gone by that point, so... Whereas the Spyglass staying on Emery is fine. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm assuming this is Shadow Spear, at which point we're going to be in big trouble. Them having that one Metallic Rebuke off the top was gross. Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course you would pay attention to good player things like the fact that their spear is... Yeah, okay. Not just Kaya. Everyone noticed that the spear got binned, but not me. It's fine, Halsey. That's what it's there for. It's there for people to use it. Alright, so we're just going to take the 8 this turn rather than giving them the card. Aether Spellbomb's a little annoying, but not too annoying. Mostly we just got to find some kind of out. Ratchet Bomb would be pretty good here. It wouldn't kill the construct, but... So we can do quote-unquote everything this turn and then go for a double draw next turn. Well, I mean, I'm not playing it anywhere near as well as the maximum potential, but luckily I have a chat full of wonderful people to help me out. So I can't... Well, I mean, I could go for double block this turn. Uh-oh. They had another Metallic Rebuke? Gross! Yikes. Jeez. They were ripping hot fire over there. Wow. So this is now... Oh, we're just dead. Okay, got it. Cool. Holy crap. Oh. Alright. So you wanted Chalices on the play to jam on 0, I guess. Which would mean... Warping Wail probably goes out. I assume this is by far the worst spell in my deck. TKS, sure. That makes sense. I mean, the infinite stream of blockers was disgusting in game 1 Tuesday, so it's definitely not good. It's not great, but the cost reduction is also insane in this deck, right? I remember when Etron was playing 2 of these, and like when they would go Tron, Ugin into Karn, it was like the most devastating thing. I feel like this is not good enough. This is like no proactive, you know, teeth. This is double TKS, which is a card we were trimming on here. But it does have Eldrazi Temple, at least. Ballista's pretty mediocre, though. The best name for Heliod. Word. Opponent kept their 7. I mean, I don't love this hand, but I think this is where I'm going to live for now. We can do better. Because, like, if I find a Chalice, I get to blank a chunk of their hand. Yeah, okay, this is much better. I don't need to keep Ratchet Bomb if I'm going to Chalice on 0 on turn 1. Reshaper's pretty garbage, though, right? Well, it's not garbage, but it's like... Bomb could be devastating. Bomb on 1 to supplement my Chalice on 0. So this is the... We mulled a 5, but hopefully we've blanked enough of their hand that they have a really hard time getting going. I would suspect that's the case. I think I was supposed to play Ratchet Bomb this turn. Because I don't know what I want to fetch with this. So taking more draw steps toward... Yeah, to take more draw steps towards the next Tron land was probably what I was supposed to do here. Now what I want to do is just grab Saga to play like the mid-range game against them, which is obviously like, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, well, because we get to chain into another map afterwards. Yeah, all right. So I made a misplay. Oh, Brian, thanks for the resub, my friend. We can play the Ratchet Bomb this turn. Thanks, buddy. Did I hear correctly that you and Arun want to record on Monday? Because we could do that this week. Yikes. So I'm definitely not going to intentionally pop this Ratchet Bomb. I did do that on 0. So I'm going to start cranking it. I'm going to leave it on 1 for now because I don't really want to trade it for Nettle Cyst. That's what I want to trade for Nettle Cyst. Play Blast Zone. Play Shaper. Yeah, no worries, Brian. I mean, if Arun can do it, then we'll do it, just me and him. But if we can't have you, I'm sure we'll be happy to. So yeah, you know what, Nutzi, is that I didn't realize how small their germ was. I just assumed this was going to be a 7/7 or something, which obviously it isn't. I'm just tired and not able to process. It's not an excuse, just an explanation. Okay, so next turn they can boot up their Ink Moth to, and then get it equipped. We'll trade anyway for the Germ Token if they swing. They didn't. That's fine. So now, cool. So I have power plant mine, so we'll get tower with the map that we're eventually getting here. By eventually, I mean like 3 seconds from now. Hey, it's Larynx Punchworthy. How you doing, friendo? I guess I could needle their Nettle Cyst, or the Ink Moth might be much more dangerous than anything else that's actually going on here. Yeah. I don't know if that was correct. I have this Smasher to get to. I mean, I did just turn off my ability to get to my Tron, but let's just get aggressive here. Yeah, Ink Moth is generally quite difficult to deal with. I don't know about this. I don't know about this line I've taken. Uh-oh. Galvanic Blast my Construct. Okay, definitely wasn't expecting that one. Now they have a Saga. I've ticked up my Ratchet Bomb, so I've put myself in a bad spot here. And, like, to be fair, we mulled to 5 this game, so... Jesus. Okay, so we're going to need to get this Ratchet Bomb up to 3 to deal with the Nettle Cyst. It's too much damage, or it will be soon enough. But now that I've lost the Saga, it's like less important to keep it around. And of course me deciding to get aggressive in that one turn where I kind of felt like I had an opening got immediately punished, where I would be able to chump block here. Win it for the children. I mean, I'm not naysaying that I can win. I'm just saying I'm in a poor position. So at the moment, they can just equip over to Thought Monitor and kill my Karn. So that's useless. But then they also have Saga going off this turn. They have too much stuff for me to deal with now. I really, really don't know how I'm supposed to pull this off. I guess I could animate their Nettle Cyst this turn cycle. They can't equip. I mean, they can't, but like, they'll be able to keep attacking me. They could have Rebuke. Yeah, they could. I mean, this is probably the best possible time for me to do this. The problem is they still have the Saga going off here, but I guess I could get a bridge at that point. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to jam the Karn because I just have nothing else relevant to really do. And then at least I get to kill their Darksteel Citadel, chump block with Reshaper. Plus on the equipment. I mean, that doesn't really do that much for me, right? No, I know how that interaction works. It's just that they still have 2 creatures to attack with. I mean, I could trade the Reshaper for it. Yeah, maybe I'm overvaluing Stone Raining them. All right. No, wait. They can, yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Man, what a draw. Like, it's just like not any individual part of it. How would they have 2 attackers? Thought Monitor plus the artifact that I had. The Thought Monitor and the equipment that I animated, which wouldn't kill my Karn, but yeah, we're gonna get smashed here. On the mull to 5, it was like we needed them to draw less well than this. It's fine. The more brutal one was last game, where they had the last card in hand Rebuke. This is just Affinity. But I no, we weren't even, no. Yeah, okay, we're just dead here. It's fine. It was a close one. I think there was a better way to play that, but they had a good enough draw that it just felt like I wasn't going to be able to pull that off with a 5-card hand. I mean, I'm sure there was certain plays, like with the Ratchet Bomb and everything was really tricky. Because, like, I didn't know what they had, and I had to sort of like figure out where it was right to deploy that. Cranking up Ratchet Bomb to 3 is like kind of a non-starter, but we had the Chalice on 0, which was way too important to use it on 0 to kill a germ token. But then they found the Saga. It's like they just had too many very, very, very valuable draws there. So that's fine. Alright, so we've got 2/3 of Tron, 4th land, Karn. I mean, this hand literally does nothing until turn 4, so in the dark, I don't think it's good enough. It looked pretty okay, but not doing anything until turn 4 is just like non-starter for Modern. Here we'll just bottom one of these power plants. We've got turn 2 Temple, and then in this case, we're at least playing a Chalice on 2. If we end up against a control deck, then there's really no danger in going more slowly. So we can't TKS on 2, so it is correct to play the power plant here first. Because we could hit running Tron lands. We have found the ad nauseam. So this comes out on their turn 4. Right? Yeah, but I don't think I'm supposed to play this Chalice yet, right? Because if I draw a land next turn, I have Karn. So I could Chalice on 1, and Chalice on 1 plus Karn is really good. Chalice on 1, it's better than 0. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm hitting the Karn yet. So I feel like I could have waited a turn on this. Because, like, just because of what the matchup is, like, not playing the Chalice on turn 2 here, when they didn't play a 1-drop, wouldn't have been too... I don't know. But I'm probably going to do this whether or not I find the land for Karn. It's just like, if I didn't find the land for Karn, maybe 0 would be acceptable. Yeah, because of this. Alright, well, we found the land, which makes my Chalice on 1 feel a lot worse. This was the... No, I understand that, Kaya. I'm just saying, like, this was the situation where I was hoping that by waiting until this turn, I would be like, okay, maybe this turn I decide to Chalice on 1 because I at least know I'm going to turn off their Lotus Bloom. So this is actually what I wanted with playing the Chalice on 1 this turn. But yeah, so I played this. There's a red-green lands deck I really want to be good someday that I play with 4 Chalice, and I found by playing that deck that playing against Ad Nauseam, it's shockingly easy to beat them with Chalice on 0, Chalice on 1. Oh. What if we just did everything? Any objections? Is everyone in chatters? Are we okay with just crushing them on every possible axis? Is that a thing we're okay with? I just don't know if I should be doing this, you know. They know what's up. They know what's up. So Warping Wail is fine. Dismember is awful. Probably bringing in Torpor Orb and I feel like most of these are not that useful. Ratchet Bomb? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Is that better than Warping Wail or? Yikes. Sure. Torpor Orb and I want to say Ratchet Bomb for their um, Lotuses or for. I mean, checking up to kill an Unlife on 3 is probably pretty sus. Like, you can do it, it's just like. Killing the Bloom on upkeep is usually the bigger play. Might be a good Etron player. I'm not. But I might be. You like your fruit like you like your Tron. Natural? Is that the joke? Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, ripe? Ripe. Prism. You like your fruit like you like your Tron green. I mean, it makes sense for some fruit, less so for others. Avocado. Yes. Banana. Only if you're really, really weird. So I already have the tower. So I'm assuming we want to get Blast Zone up in here. I also have a Saga for actually ending the game. The thing about Blast Zone is, like, what am I going to kill? Unlife? Eventually? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, I already have a Saga in hand, which gets me to the next. Oh, I don't like. Are they going to silence me? Oh! Yo! I got. I mean, I guess I'll play Blast Zone. I can get a free crank. Or maybe I should have played Saga there. I bet I should have played Saga there. When I was working at Starbucks, I had the joke back in the day, because I did not drink or particularly like coffee, and I had the joke, which was, I like my women like my coffee. I don't. Wait a minute. And then at one point I did post on Reddit asking for people's best I like my ex like I like my coffee jokes. There were some good ones. In terms of the actual factual Tron lands, usually what you would base it on is what order you've drawn them in versus what order you've revealed those to your opponent. Like my men like I like my coffee, scalding hot and nowhere near my genitals. So TKS and Karn this turn seems pretty good. Because they actually only had 2 cards. So Mr. Maple Syrup is a hero for the Song Request Bulls on Parade. Wow! They had the kill in hand and they didn't have enough mana. Okay, so out of these 2 cards, if we take a Spoils and they draw another... I think you always take the Spoils here, right? Because if they draw... No, I could take the Oracle, and then if they draw another Spoils, they have to Spoils for Oracle, then Spoils, which they don't have enough mana to do. I'm pretty sure you're still always supposed to take the Spoils, because if they draw a second Oracle, this hand doesn't do anything. Like, you're always putting them in a position where they need to draw another Spoils. Is there anything particularly good I can get with the Karn right now? Because the Torpor Orb is in my deck. No, not really. Just grab Coating, sure. Yeah, they are light on sources. Yeah, this is going to put them in a little box real quick. Wow, just opponent knows what's up. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. DJ Tom Morello. All right. In the dark on the draw, 2 lands. One of them is Cavern plus map. Seems good. Sorry, one of them is a Tron land. The other one is map. The spells are a little clunky, but if we just get Temple, we're good to go. So it's a little bit slow on the draw. If we run into something super fast here, we might be in trouble. No Luris means could be Murktide. More? Okay. This is probably Doom's Esper Urza's Mora deck. Oh, shit. I mean, I probably had to do this anyway. I just didn't. I thought this only worked against removal. No, I'm just that out of it today. High roll a Tron land for the win. We got 2 shots at 2 Tron lands now. Yikes. Guess I should have seen that one coming. Wow! All right. What can you even do? What can you do? Just Tron things. Yeah, we'll just draw a temple and win. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. All right. So this. Oh shit! Doom. Doom. I thought I was against your Esper Asmorana Mardukadice and the Kulikar deck, but I don't think that's what this is anymore. Nope, definitely not. This is like blue-white or Jeskai Affinity? Yo, that's a dumper. All right. So, for anyone who's wandering in and thinks I'm a moron, I did play an Expedition map. I did keep a 2-land hand with Expedition map, and then I drew Thought-Knot Seer, All Is Dust. Now, you might be saying, well, that couldn't have happened if you didn't put those cards in your deck. And you'd be right. And I have no follow-up. That is correct. This is very much like a deck that I was playing a few weeks back. I mean, I don't know yet, but Dispatch and Urza, yeah, it's like blue-white mid-range artifact deck. All right, let's draw the temple and have a shot at this. Nope. All right. I'm going to stick in like 1 or 2 more turns just to see a little bit more of what they're up to. Because I honestly have no idea. I mean, I don't have no idea. Obviously, I have a very good idea, but I want to see more of what they're up to here. Also, Doom, how did your whatever go? I'm sure it was... I think I'm supposed to get the SO command set up. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. They cracking. 3 damages. Hey! Right on time. Of course, they have a Aether Spell Bombs. This doesn't really do anything. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got me good. Aha! They have a mighty hand of spells. Mighty, mighty hand of spells. The opponent is a powerful wizard. They drew the card with Aether Spellbomb. I mean, I guess. That will be an eventual song cover, Mr. Maple Syrup. It will be to the tune of Tale as Old as Time, and the lyrics will be dying on turn 3. Dying on turn 3. I think that's going to be the next one. Because I think I have the lyrics entirely written, if I have to be. I think I do. Let's find out. Dying on turn 3. Yeah, I think so. I think they're done. I mean, they're not as good as they will be. Also, for all the Doomers who have joined us, you can submit song requests by typing !SR followed by a space followed by the name of the song you'd like to hear. I guess I'm supposed to just keep casting these? Just keep spying on their hand over there? Did they play this island? They did. Okay. I mean, I really... Sure. What do you got? What do you got? It's a pretty good drop. That's going to be tough to beat. Not going to lie. I see. Yeah, this is basically the deck I played before. It's a lot of fun to play. But it has problems against some of the top tier stuff. Pithing Needle. What are they naming? Karn? Blast Zone? Karn, yeah. Think we might be in trouble. Just spins into Darksteel Citadel. Somehow I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. Well, I want to see that one come up more in Finn. I'm excited for that. So Warping Wail and Dismember are both fine here. Mindstone's fine. Shapers, Thoughtseers, Smashers, they're fine. It's like we gotta sort of compete with their big stuff. I think All Is Dust is probably less than great. That's probably the only thing that's like not really particularly good here. Guess I could have Ratchet Bomb. Being able to Karn for it is probably worthwhile here. Although if they're going to needle my Karns, maybe that's worth doing. Sure. Maybe I was supposed to have Spatial Contortion. Yeah, probably. I'm just on more spot removal. But having more spot removal for Emrys probably isn't a bad thing. Oh, yeah. Sure. Although I can't get both of these maps in under the Chalice. That's probably okay. This is the very very MTG boomer electronica. After this, we're going to listen to a bunch of Daft Punk. Not actually. Although there are some other good bangers on here. Oh, Roy, what was that Euro pop song we listened to the other day that I was like, I thought the name of the song was something completely different? Do you remember? I bet you will, but you probably won't. It was like a pretty... I was just like trying to think of it the other day, and I was like, I remember having that moment happen, but I couldn't remember what it sounded like or what it was called. That's... Yeah, ding dong. Close, but no. Needle my maps. Opponent is the Fun Police. Good lord. Anyway, here's Chalice of the Void. Now they're going to play Emery. And we have Dismember. But you remember that moment, right? I was like, oh, it's this song. And it's like this kind of song. It's very much like this. Yikes. Double yikes. Maybe they'll miss their land drop. Although the deck I'm thinking that they're playing is probably playing up to 24 lands. So maybe not. Yeah, but I can't even remember what it sounds like, dude. Yikes. I mean, not gonna hurt. Ah, there we go. Well, like, but how are you gonna figure it out? Like, I mean, it might have been on the Friday VOD, and I might have moved it onto the screen, so you could do it by the visual if you go digging really deep. Okay, so they're still gonna get to make a construct and fetch here, which is more than a little unfortunate. But if we make it to the next turn, maybe we're in good shape. We'll see what they end up getting. Yeah. Well, if it does, message me, because I was like, it's like some kind of like banger Euro pop song that's like really fun. Are they gonna needle my ballista? You psychopath. That probably means Shadow Spear is in their hand. Maybe not. They might just hit Karn here, I guess. Probably have an Urza in hand. Look at Kaya with the Soul Read. Yikes. So they managed to find Urza. That's really bad for me. Of course, this whole draw has been... They had a turn 1 needle on my maps. That's... Yeah, this whole thing is not so good. I could bin this extra map because in theory eventually I'm going to want that if I draw Mama, but like that's probably not worth doing right now. Yeah, it only gets me up to 6 out of 13. I think we are getting eaten by the bigger fish here. I mean, I could group block the Urza. Or, yeah, I mean, group blocking the Urza is just as good as killing it any other way. Although this makes me think that they have a second Urza. So they're just going to play it anyway, most likely. Yeah, I agree. I just, like, I don't... I mean, I guess it's better than having to draw that this turn. I don't know if I have any out that beats this now. The Pithing Needle ate my draw so badly. Wasn't expecting turn 1 Needle. But nothing to be done. Yep. I'm pretty sure the one card, or one of the 2 cards I sided out was the Allah's Dust, which wouldn't help me at all here, but it would at least feel like, oh, well, at least, well, I have Dismembers, speak of the devil. But this just doesn't matter. Yeah, we're just done here. Unfortunate. So twice we've gotten beat up by Metallic Rebukes. We got beat by Affinity, and then, like, blue-white Urza mid-range. Which is just kind of, like, unfortunate, because we were, like, playing a 4 Karn the Great Creator deck here, and we get beat up by Affinity, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm 100% sure in the first one there was better ways I could have navigated Game 3, and then in that one, I definitely could have mulliganed. Hey, thanks for that subscription, Mr. Fahrenheit. In that one, I could have mulliganed for a better hand in Game 1. I mean, the hand we had was... like, the way we drew out was god-awful, but... But maybe I should just be mulliganing more aggressively in general. I think the last time I was playing Etron more and I was having a reasonable amount of success with it, I was mulliganing a lot more aggressively than I have been here. Mulliganing. Tuganaxos. So we're on the draw. I mean, this hand has a plan, but it's slow. But turn 1 map, turn 2 Chalice, probably good against a chunk of the metagame. They're not on Luris, so maybe it's not good enough, but we'll see. Scalding Tarn gives me some hope. Triome. Oh, this is a terrible matchup for Chalice, most likely. I bet they're on Spike's Teamer Reclamation deck, then. If I have to make a instantaneous gut reaction guess. Which, obviously, I don't, but... Oh, no. Could be Domain Zoo? Elementals. Nope, they would have the companion. Nope, I just do not know what they're on. Their turns? Oh, yeah. Of course, they're on my deck. Oh, so I should have probably left the map up, because this can get Prismatic Ending now. Yeah, I should have. Because Chalice on 1 is, like, terrible against them. Well, let's see if they have a counter this turn, I guess. They don't play many. Although, no, I mean, they might be on one of the challenge winning lists that's, like, turns adjacent. Yeah, we'll see. Not challenge winning, challenge top 8ing. There was 2 top 8s on the super qualifier that were, like, one was turns, the other was turns adjacent. Yeah. Remand. In leagues good, in challenges less so. Nope, they're on the turns adjacent deck. But without the Tron land in play, I think we're just dead here. Yeah. Unfortunate. Alright, Night Phoenix. So I guess we want Spatial Contortions? I have no idea how to sideboard in this matchup. I know that Etron can win this because I've been beaten by Etron, but it's not... It's definitely not an easy one. I feel like there's like a lot of very small upgrade cards in the matchup. Chalice is generally very poor though. Relic, Needle, Spyglass, Cage, sure. Yeah, so we just want to hit them setting up their shit. Cage does not stop creativity, but it stops Ren and 6 Emblem, and it stops Velomachus triggers. Because they could be on both. One of the lists from the weekend was on both. So that's not good enough. Mind Plant, Saga. Yeah. I actually don't know what I'm supposed to bottom here. I would guess it's Smasher. Smash is a really good clock, though. But, alright. Just doesn't fit in with the actual plan. So we can go Tron land, then Saga, Stone. We'll see where we end up. We kind of want to watch out for Wear Tear or Alpine Moon in this game, but there really isn't a lot we can do about it. I mean, I could play the Mine before the Saga here, which guarantees I get to 4 mana, which is a little bit more relevant now that I have a good 4 mana play. Actually, yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. I guess the Stone could get Prismatic Endinged, and then I kind of have nothing next turn. You'd play Mine here. Yeah. I think I found the line. The sequencing in Etron is very interesting when you don't play it that often, I think. Even when you do, I feel like it does manage to present you with a lot of very interesting decisions. Yeah. Called shot. I think I still play Mine rather than Saga. So if I play Saga, I'm kind of locking myself into... Well, nah, but this deck doesn't really need the Construct all that often. And we have Warping Wail for some of the things they could end up with this turn. I guess the reason I'd want to play Ballista here is if I wanted to deal with Teferi, but then I run the risk of it getting eaten by a Ren and 6, so we'll see. Oh, right, but that can bounce my Saga. Yeah, forgot about that. I'm good at playing this matchup from the other side. Whale here for shit. Yeah, I forgot I could do that. Yep, I just straight up forgot that was an option. I was just so distracted with the fact I was getting got. Yeah, I think this might be lost now, though. Like, I don't know how... Well, I mean, like, obviously it's not, but I don't know. All the punts. Yeah, because then I would have the Ballista to deal with the... God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm just like... I'm punting, and then I'm like... And then people are like, oh, you punted. It's like, oh, well, now I could do... But then... And then I make the decision before I've actually worked out the line. Oh... Yeah, Modern is not a very friendly place to try to learn something like this right now. This whole game is, I think, a testament to that. Like, at every moment, if I had more experience, there were plays I could have made. Okay, if they have the remand again, I was going to be really surprised and tilted. Okay, so there's all the wear tears I was worried about, but I can't do anything about those. They have another Teferi. They have Prismarine. Wow, they're just stacked here. Well, yeah, we are in some trouble. On the plus side, it should be a quick death here. I can barely play anything. Jeez. My opponent decided to tell me this was the revenge of the dwarves. So I decided to question them on their usage of the word revenge. I've been the primary employer of dwarves in the competitive modern scene for months now. All right. So we're dying brutally. Well, we're also down a game, Roy. So like, I don't know. This feels pretty god awful already. And they plus their Teferi already. So if they have a creativity, they can All right. Yeah. So certainly in game 2 there, I could have done a lot better. I feel like we got rinsed on 2 of our matchups that should have been pretty good. Affinity, we went 1-2, but this blue-white Urza deck was like, that was brutal, both games. Turns just, that wasn't even turns, I don't think, because they went Eldrazi in game 1. So I think that was probably the PTQ 3rd place deck. The Rooney 56 deck. No, the other one. The one that went 8th. No, 7th. Violent Outburst. So I think this is what we were up against. Although it could have been the Rooney deck. But this one plays literally 0 turns. And then this one plays 4 time warps. So it's definitely a powerful deck, but it was funny how like inept I felt from the other side there. All right, so let's try to scrape out the 2-3. I got a 4-1 in the previous league, but this one has not been good. But I will say my experience from the side of the decks playing Prismatic Ending and Portable Hole against Expedition maps feels real good. Having ways to interact with your opponent's Aether Vials and such has been a big upgrade for a bunch of decks in Modern. Abundant Growth. This is probably Enchantress, which means TKS Matter Reshaper on 3. It's probably going to be pretty good. I could play slightly more aggressively by putting down Shaper this turn into TKS next turn. So it gets the same 2 creatures out, but I get the Matter Reshaper attacking a turn earlier, which I just don't know if that's like better or worse. I suppose setting up my Tron earlier means that if I top deck Karn, we have our mana ready to go. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. I suppose whenever my opponent assembles turn 3 Tron and their turn is Matter Reshaper TKS, I'm usually like, oh, thank God. So I should probably look at it from that perspective. Actually, against Enchantress, I should not yield, because they can be playing Prismatic Ending. Okay, so my opponent failed to draw their land, I guess. And all right, so I guess we take that. So yeah, I have a lot of learning to do with Etron, I think. Although in the previous league, one of the things I like about this deck is just playing Chalice of the Void, and Chalice of the Void is nice against the Luris decks, the Prowess, Blue-Red Prowess, Blue-Red Murktide, which was the one matchup we won earlier. No, it was before this league, right? Yeah, we beat Ad Nauseam. Chalice is great against Ad Nauseam. Chalice is just pretty good in Modern right now, generally speaking. Though the 2 Affinity and Affinity adjacent decks we ran into kind of made it look awkward. Rage group to Tron on turn 3, I guess. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, but I guess I never do that, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if they were on something playing Abundant Growth, I mean, they were either on Enchantress or I don't know what. I mean, I guess if they were on some kind of like Creature Company deck, like anyway, it's pointless to speculate. But if they were on like Enigmatic Incarnation or something like that, or some kind of company deck or creature combo deck. 2 people today tell you that your deck was quote quote mindless quote quote. Jesus. Anyway, this deck is not mindless. I think if anyone's watched this league, this deck is clearly not mindless. And there are very interesting, nuanced decisions in the sequencing and the sideboarding. The less sideboard slots you have, like this deck, the more you need to be careful about how you're sideboarding. A lot of the time, Karn is a very interesting card because you have access to all of these cards, but sometimes you want to board some of them in because there's enough redundancy and overlap in the matchup that you can leave 1 or even 2 cards that are great in the matchup in the sideboard while boarding in another 1 to 2 to 3. And then when your removal package is not that good, it puts you in a different place with your main deck. It is definitely a deck there's a lot of decisions to be made about keeping which of these 12 core Eldrazi creatures, because they're all different. Reality Smasher is obviously like really aggressive, great against control decks, as we saw at the end of last league. Thought-Knot Seer has, maybe the highest ceiling and the lowest floor. And then the one of Ugin, All Is Dust, and Emrakul. I mean, each of these cards is individually insane in certain situations. But I can see why there's definitely not more than one. Saga was great. Saga's been great in the versions that I've played it in. So the 2 Sagas are definitely a meaningful upgrade, meaningful change for this deck. Thanks, Barbecue Hoss. So, anywho, if you are in the future watching this on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out any of my other videos that you are interested in, and I will see you there. And for those of you who